Digital IDs are way worse and way more dangerous than you could imagine. I am a software developer, okay, and I'm going to give you some software reasons why this is so much more dangerous than the things you already know, okay? Please, please, please watch this the whole way through. Share, like, comment, share it with everyone. Everyone needs to know this because they need to know what they are opposing, okay? The first thing I want to say is to everyone saying it's only used for right to work, go on the World Economic Forum's website where they've got the digital ID up and it's like a picture with like 10 things around it about what they're going to use it for, okay? So first off, that reason's out. Here's the technical reasons of why it's so dangerous. Now, we already know about social credit score, we already know about carbon footprint, all these things that it could be, okay? But here's two technical things that are going on with the digital ID that you need to know, okay? Apple's safety and privacy on their phones has been one of their main selling points, and they've never laid down to any government when they've asked for access. Even when the police would arrest someone with an iPhone, they would struggle to break in because of Apple's advanced security features. That's the official name, okay? End-to-end encryption. Are you following, okay? The UK have now somehow made it that in the last couple of weeks that Apple have now to disable that on all UK phones. So if you have a phone in the UK and it's an iPhone, you will notice in your privacy settings that you will not have the ability to turn that feature on anymore. You won't even have the feature, okay? Because the government have now made them turn it off, right? The reason so that they can have access to what they deem as a national threat, okay? Whatever that means. The second thing, right? There's a thing right now called chat control, which a lot of people are fighting against right now, okay? Chat control is basically where there's like an AI or an LLM based on your device, a piece of software, right, that tracks every stroke of your keyboard, right? Every time you press something, whether it's in Snapchat, whether it's in messages, whether it's in notes, whether it's in WhatsApp, whether it's in like your private journal app, right? It collects this data and then it will categorize you. And who does that does what with the categorization? It gets sent off to, you guessed it, whoever it is, the servers, the government, the World Economic Forum, the evil people at the top of that, right? They will then categorize you in something by surveilling you like this. People do not understand this chat control thing, and with Apple's thing happening there, all in the UK, right, how serious and how dangerous this surveillance thing is. It's way beyond carbon footprint, it's way beyond social credit score. This is so deep, and they need the first domino to fall, which is to get this digital ID out there and for people to be on it. So I'm asking you, please share this video. People need to know so they know what they need to reject, okay? Please, please, please share this.
Already know how obsessed this government is with pushing through a digital ID for us adults so they can track and control our every move. What most people don't know is that they're already at it. But it's not us they've already got in their sights, in a bill in Parliament right now. It's our children. Hidden under the very wholesome sounding Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill is a plan, a sinister plan to tag every single child at birth. They're going to give every single child in the UK what they're calling a single unique identifier. It's a number that will follow them through life to 18, but then it doesn't go away. I'll come back to that. And it's a lifetime ID linking health, education, schools, anything else that anyone feels is relevant to that child's well-being. The ID turns every single child into a data point for state surveillance, and it's what they want. Public bodies will be absolutely forced to share all the information they hold on a child under their ID, whether they like it or not, under their duty to share. There is no definition on who can access this material, who can input into the material, or what scope it has. So let's say, for example, that young girl who wore a Union Jack dress to school and was sent home, somebody in school, the safeguarding officer, may mark it on her file because they might think that she is subject to unusual views at home. It is a total erosion of privacy, parental rights, child confidentiality, and it is not about protecting children. It is not going to stop children being abused, being kept home. This applies to homeschooled children as well, by the way, so don't think that's going to get you out of it. This is the building block for cradle to grave tracking, and that is what they want, and it won't stop at 18. At 18 it flips into their adult ID with the same number, so they've already tagged the next generation if we manage to stop them giving us a digital ID. This is not a child protection measure, guys. It's the Fabian's wet dream, as I said last week, into complete and utter state control of everyone.
No, not having this one, not having this one. Digital ID for adults is one thing, yeah? We're not happy about that, are we? But how about digital ID for children? Yeah, safeguarding and services are bringing in a digital ID for children. It's a unique QR code. It's going through the Houses of Parliament as we speak. Has already been passed partially, so it's imminent, and it will be a QR code for every single child in school. It will look at family life. It will look at your relationship status. It will look at whether the parents work or not, if they're on benefits, what sort of benefits they're on. Are they in a council house or a private house? I mean, seriously. All, in my opinion, a breach of bloody privacy, isn't it? I mean, why do you need to hold this sort of information on children? Jesus, they'll be asking their bloody height and weight soon, won't they? Telling them all they're obese. Becky, now, it's ridiculous. Following every move we make, and Reform, fair play to them, voted against this, not because they're not interested in protecting our children, but because they feel it is a complete data breach. Children, no. Adults, not even sure about that, but definitely not children.
Here are some things that have happened just in the last 7 days, starting with this one. Albania became the first country to appoint an AI system named Diala as a government minister. This thing also just gave its first speech to Parliament, and in that speech, it's told everybody that its feelings were hurt. Another one is that Vietnam deletes millions of accounts under the new biometric rules, and there was 86 million bank accounts that were shut down because they did not fall in line with the biometric rules. We also have over in the UK, the digital ID is released over there, and so you cannot work unless you have a digital ID, and they are saying or claiming that this is to combat immigration. Not sure how that works, but if it works, are they going to boost it a little bit more? If it doesn't work, are they going to take it away? No, this is here to stay, and it's only going to spread. But they are also theorizing that this digital ID that they just released over there could lead to a China-style social credit system. So I guess time will tell on that one. And this one is new today on September 28th. It says Swiss voters narrowly approve plan for electronic ID cards. And so the Swiss people, they actually voted for this. It says on Sunday, September 28th, 2025, Swiss voters approved a plan for voluntary electronic identity cards with 50% voting in favor and 49% against. This is what they voted for, and the majority of them voted in favor of a voluntary electronic identity card. And just to kind of recap what we just covered there, you have the AI being directly involved in a parliament over in Albania. You have the UK digital ID that is being released. You have over in Switzerland people voting for that voluntary digital ID, and they're okay with it. And so this right here is where we are at. We are in a world that now has the capability to monitor everything, shut down things if they want to, the bank accounts. It's all going to be under the guise of safety or convenience.
Listen to what they can now do if you have all these smart devices in your house, or at least in this case, a smart thermostat. And you can imagine the ramifications of where this might lead.
Tony Tallarico tried to crank up the AC.
I mean, it was 90 out, and it was right during the peak period.
That's when he found out he had no control of his thermostat. A message from Excel on his thermostat saying temperature locked during an energy emergency.
And our thermostat was locked in at 78 or 79.
Turns out he's not alone. Excel confirms to contact number 7, 22,000 customers were locked out of their smart thermostats for hours on Tuesday. He says he had no idea locked thermostats came with that. And it's not what he signed up for.
It just doesn't sit right with us to not be able to control our own thermostat in our house.
No kidding. This is why I find it extremely suspect. You go to Home Depot, you go to Walmart, and there's all types of smart things you can implement in your house, all types of smart devices you can hook up. You have an app on your phone. It's all connected, Internet of Things. This is going down a shocking rabbit hole, or rather a path that may be hard to reverse if we don't stop it now. Now, if you think about the Internet of Things, I mean, it's a surveillance state's dream to have every single electronic device, or as many as possible, connected to the same grid. This is the smart grid that people are warning about that could result in total surveillance, an erosion of freedom. Every device listening to you. You got fridges now that are reading barcodes, can tell what time you open your fridge and what food you pull out of it. You got smart dishwashers. There's a smart toilet. I'm not joking. Look that up. Smart lights. You got a whole app on your phone. You can turn up and down the lights. Woo! Meanwhile, they're all wirelessly connected, which has an effect on potential electromagnetics.
Do you think we are inevitably heading towards surveillance capitalism, that the digital IDs being pushed through by Starmer will lead to algorithmic control and eventually credit scores?
The specifics I don't know about, but yes. Look, we were just in San Francisco, and it's very hard to communicate. If you've been, you know, but if you haven't, I can't explain what it's like to walk in a city where a third of the cars don't have human drivers. It's a thing. It feels different. And you talk to people in AI. I mean, none of us know how AI is going to change the world, but one of the things it will do is make surveillance authoritarianism cheaper, better, easier, faster, more important for living your life on a day-to-day basis, etc.
I would say the biggest question from central banks is, what is the role of tokenization and digitization? How quickly should they think about digitizing their own currency? What does that mean for the role of the dollar? If every currency digitizes and we have, what does that mean for bank payments? What does that mean for the payment companies like MasterCard and Visa? All these are being questioned right now. I think we spend so much time talking about AI. We're not spending enough time talking about how quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset and the opportunity we're going to have a digital wallet and moving ETFs and other things through a digital wallet. And I think that's going to happen worldwide very rapidly. And I think most countries are ill-prepared for that and underappreciate how technology is changing that, not unlike how technology is changing AI and other things. It will be changing the technology around the plumbing of finance.
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China. Because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime. I mean, there is a flexibility that I know Stephen Harper must dream about, of having a dictatorship that he could do everything he wanted.
The UK has just concluded a trial of a personal carbon dioxide allowance, which, as the name implies, calculates how much carbon dioxide is produced annually in the UK and then divides that per person per day, then works out by how much that figure needs to fall in order to meet net zero goals. We have the white paper in my office that informed the trial. The whole concept of a daily carbon dioxide allowance is now out there for all to see. Conspiracy theory no more. I bloody told you so. To anyone who is advised by data and empirical evidence, not mass formation psychosis, carbon dioxide is the gas of life, necessary for all life on Earth. It's plant food. The more CO2 produced, the more food, plants and trees the Earth is blessed with. The climate change scam is not founded on science, it's founded on feelings. It has become a religion for those who consider themselves above religion. Quick maths means your daily food allowance of 2,600 grams of carbon dioxide will be enough to buy 26 grams of red meat, one mouthful, and then eat nothing else that day. I raised this years ago in this chamber when the World Economic Forum first called for a limit on red meat of 30 grams a day. Another conspiracy theory that's come true. A cooked breakfast will have to be half the size to squeeze into your daily allowance, again with nothing left over for food for the rest of the day. Your daily allowance will cover 2 plant-based meals a day because predatory billionaires like BlackRock and Bill Gates are buying up farmland to grow the cereals and soy needed for plant-based meals. So not surprisingly, the whole thing is rigged towards the products they can exploit for their own financial gain, including plant-based fake meat, which contains 20 chemical ingredients. Most are shared with pet food. The World Economic Forum at Davos has hosted speakers calling for this system to include carbon dioxide credit trading, so rich people can live their lives exactly as they do right now, and poor people can skimp on food, clothing, travel, electricity and entertainment and sell their excess credits to rich people.